Well, hello from Cambridge, hello from the Cambridge Institute of Marketing Practice, and welcome to the Swamp. A short health warning: if you are not a board member, you may not find this short video particularly compelling. It is targeted to interest one very specific audience: company directors. Of course, any senior line manager could find interest here, but it is directors who are likely to derive benefit from joining us on a short journey through the Swamp. Swamp is strictly for the boardroom. There's a good reason for this focus on the board. Swamp is all about making investors happy, and it's in the boardroom that we make the big decisions which touch on the fortune of investors, those fickle souls on whom we all depend to grease the wheels of commerce and reward us for our efforts to make them rich. So it is to the boardroom I seek an invitation. I am after a seat on the board. You can, of course, relax. It's not for me. I'm too old, I don't tick any diversity boxes, I'm not woke, my CV is threadbare, I don't even look the part, which is why I actually enjoy wearing a mask during lockdown. The invitation is not for me. And the seat is not for a friend, and not for a relative either. But I do want a seat at the boardroom table, and I want it for SWAMP. Well, not literally, or physically, of course. SWAMP is an acronym. Acronyms don't go through doors, don't sit at tables, acronyms don't vote, don't sign off on accounts and chat up analysts. They certainly don't claim expenses or compensation. But on a more serious note, in spirit, yes, SWAMP does deserve a place in the decision-making process. SWAMP should be where profits take center stage. SWAMP deserves a seat in your boardroom. Give me a few minutes of your time, and I will try to expose an opportunity you may have overlooked. You won't regret it. The journey's entirely free. The opportunity is hidden in plain sight and will seem blindingly obvious once exposed to view. So I don't deserve a fee, and I'm way past my consultant sell-by date, as you can see. So rest easy. I'm not after your money, just 5 minutes of your time and undivided attention. So what is SWAMP? An acronym, of course, we've said that, but SWAMP is first and foremost a matrix. Matrix is a busy word, many meanings, many contexts, certainly more than a fairly eccentric movie, which I confess I have seen several times. A matrix, says Collins, is an environment in which something develops and grows. A matrix may be anatomical, biological, mathematical, organizational even, but in commerce a matrix is something else. In every business and in every marketplace it is where brands can develop. Brands like Lotto, IBM, Ariel, Coca-Cola, Google, Android, Barclays, McDonald's, Apple, etc. All grown in a brand's matrix. Okay, what's all this brand stuff, you may ask? Not my bag. Marketing stuff. Kick it downstairs to the marketing team. Well, I would suggest you briefly hold back from kicking anything or anyone and revisit your brands. They are definitely worth it. In a brand's matrix, money grows. Every brand matrix exists only to nourish a money tree for its investors and shareholders. And that is precisely what the SWAMP matrix is for. The SWAMP matrix is for growing brands and growing money. Money for investors, money for shareholders. The fruit of this money tree will, when harvested, all fall into the basket of shareholders. And money, ladies and gentlemen of the board, is the stuff that makes shareholders smile. SWAMP isn't anything new, not something I dreamed up digging potatoes on the allotment. Yes, I do have an allotment, I do have potatoes, I do dream, and I do dream of brands. But I didn't invent the brands matrix. That happened elsewhere. The brands matrix is a human construct from a distant land. It came into existence 184 years ago, right here by the river, in Cincinnati, Ohio. Home to the National Football League Bengals, home to the Cincinnati Reds, the first ever professional baseball team, known as the Queen City and less flatteringly as Porkopolis. In 1837, Cincinnati hosted a small store startup named after its two founders, two young candle makers who married the Norris sisters, thereby becoming, first of all, brothers-in-law and then partners in the brand new Procter & Gamble company. P&G have moved offices since 1837, not far. The Twin Towers, known not always affectionately as the Bunker, still sit by the Ohio River, but Procter & Gamble has expanded. By 2020, P&G global sales had grown to $70 billion, and the brands nurtured in the Procter matrix, by some estimates, are worth some $300 billion. That's market cap, less tangible assets, so a bit optimistic, but they are certainly worth a lot of cash. P&G has been growing brand sales sales, profits, and growing brand cash value, BCV, for a long, long time, and all for generations of shareholders. BCV, or brand cash value, can be pretty impressive. P&G themselves sold Pringles in 2012 to Kellogg's for some $3 billion. Duracell in 2014 to Warren Buffett for about the same, and their beauty brands, Max Factor and CoverGirl with a few extras, fetched a cool $13 billion from Coty in 2015. Not for sale right now, as far as I know. Coca-Cola is estimated at $70 billion BCV, and Apple $185 billion, Google $142 billion. And that is the Swamp takeaway. Swamp 2 grows brand sales and profits. Swamp 2 grows brand cash value. And the BCV all belongs to shareholders. They own the company's assets, they own the brands. So maybe I can tempt you to consider that request for an invitation after all. Bring Swamp on board. Give Swamp a seat at the boardroom table. Give it a shot at making investors and shareholders smile. But a matrix is only a space in which brands can thrive. A matrix is passive. To morph brands from names and labels into profitable assets requires action. Managers must manage, directors must direct, and there must be tools to get the job done. Swamp has the tools to do the business. P&G have their own toolkit in an official history published in 2004 with the inspiring title of Rising Tide, named after one of their most valuable and profitable brands. They present a checklist. Do the right thing. Cultivate a passion for winning. The consumer is boss. Recognize individuals. Be disciplined. Innovate constantly. Gain advantage with alliances. Partner with customers to achieve common objectives. Well, it's a reasonably comprehensive checklist, but it's cumbersome and it leaves many questions unanswered. And there are two other problems with this checklist. First, they don't list the most important ingredients in the Procter recipe. They take them for granted, don't want to share the secrets which matter, or quite likely both. Secondly, it took them 180 years to get where they are today, and you don't have 183 years to spare. You want to start making money now. You need a shortcut to the nucleus of Procter's winning formula. And that is precisely what the Swamp Toolbox is. A shortcut based on our up-close observation of P&G's secrets and many years of putting them into practice. The secrets of the P&G matrix are not obvious to outsiders, but they are well understood on the inside. Believe me, I have been there. There are 5 secrets to P&G success. First, they manage brands as discrete, competing business units. Second, they manage brands as profit centers. Third, they manage brands with precise financial objectives. Fourth, they ensure that a brand has clear strategic direction, especially in the crafting of the brand's advertising message, its promise. Fifth, they ensure that each brand has a dedicated brand manager accountable for delivering on objectives. And that is what Swamp demands of managers. Set precise brand financial objectives and structure organizationally for effective management of the brand as a discrete business. Weaponize brands strategically, differentiating product and promise. Advertise brands efficiently and effectively. Measure brand financial progress against objectives. Profit as you climb the brand loyalty ladder. Let's look at that acronym in a bit more detail. S for Set Brand Financial Objectives. P&G is the master marketer. Marketers are not known for setting objectives, certainly not objectives that ring bells in British boardrooms. Well, P&G does. A brand that doesn't make money isn't a brand. Well, not for Procter, and not for us at Swamp. Well-managed brands, without fail, have financial objectives. So that's step 1. In a detailed 3-year plan, how much income and profit will each brand make, and how much is the brand worth in hard cash if you decide to sell it. There is an extra S in the Swamp acronym, S for structure. If you don't structure your organization to manage the brand as a business, you have no matrix. Appoint a brand manager. Pick someone smart, pick someone ambitious, pick someone thorough and conscientious, and give them full accountability, but no executive authority. That's what P&G does and has done since 1931, and it works. Weaponize your brand. It's going into a sea of hostile competitors. It has objectives, but it needs strategies to get it to those objectives. It needs teeth. Not many, but sharp. 2 sharp strategic teeth. 2 strategies must be based on differentiation. Business guru Michael Porter said there are only 2 viable winning business strategies: to be low cost or to be different. Low cost doesn't work for long, better be different. So your strategy is to be different. Your product or service must be different. Probably it is, or it wouldn't have survived. Even more important is that the brand must be seen to be different. Promise customers and potential customers that your brand is different. That's your advertising message strategy. P&G calls it a copy strategy. Doesn't matter what you call it, but your brand must have it. Every message must promise customers and consumers that they will find the brand different from its competitors. And it is to put that strategy to work, you must spread the promise around. You must advertise. Advertise effectively and advertise efficiently. Much is talked about advertising efficiency these days. Do digital, go social media, go emails, mine data. Do it targeted and do it cheap is the cry. But efficiency, choice of media, is easy. It's transient. It's not worth boardroom time, however fashionable. P&G and Swamp put effectiveness first. Message effectiveness, not media efficiency. It doesn't matter where you sing the song if the song has no tune, no beat, no life. Execute your promise strategy of being seen to be different. Get the message right before you pick the messenger. Say it clear every time in every medium. Emails, website, social media, taxi sides, TV, bus sides. I am different. Media come and media go, but messages are forever. M for measurement. Measure your brand income and profits against the objectives you set. Brand income and profits are straightforward if you know your numbers. Measuring brand cash value, or BCV, is trickier. It's not widely done until the last moment, which is an omission many come to regret. You can hire an expensive consultant, like Interbrand, to do it for you, but you may prefer to do it yourself with our brand cash value measurement tool. We of course prefer ours. It is self-administered, it is free, and it is quite simple. A 2-page step-by-step guide and an Excel spreadsheet. Variable brand unit profit multiplied by a self-obsessed loyalty factor. It's yours in answer to an email. And finally, P for profit on the loyalty ladder. Brand loyalty is everything when it comes to brand profit and BCV. It's a long, hard climb to brand loyalty. Many rungs. The Swamp ladder maps them all, from ignorance to brand awareness, positive attitude, purchase intention, and repeat purchase. But it is worth the climb, and each rung brings more income, each rung brings more profit, and each rung brings more brand cash value, more BCV. And that's it, all there is to the Swamp toolbox, which develops brands and grows money. For all shareholders. Take a moment, wait as long as you like, but please invite Swamp into your boardroom. Invite Swamp to stay and keep those shareholders smiling. And send us an email if you're interested. As McDonald's advertising memorably said back in the 1970s, we do it all for you. We do it here in Cambridge. We do it here in the Swamp.